10 men you won't believe actually exist. Ranked at number 10. Don't ask us to pronounce the name, because he can't. Sarunas Savickas has made it onto our list because of the incredible amount of power that he has, and it's not political power. Sarunas is generally considered to be the strongest man in the world, and it's difficult to argue with him. Sarunas was born in 1975, and is Lithuanian. He only became interested in strength sports and strongman competitions when he was 14 years old, when he was watching television and saw a Lithuanian strongman competition. He was greatly inspired by the feats of strength that the men on the show were performing, and immediately knew that he wanted to join their ranks. In a marvelously short amount of time, Sarunas was competing, and in the same competition that had originally inspired him. Ranked at number 9. Patrick Duell has rather a tragic history with his weight problems, and even after you think that they have been solved, they just get even more complicated. He is one of the heaviest people in the world, and has struggled with his weight from the time when he was just a child. The American man was once the manager of a restaurant, which was just a continuation of his love affair with food. At his very heaviest, Patrick weighed in at over 1,000 pounds, 1126 lbs to be precise. He was so heavy that when his doctors needed to weigh him, the only scales that were strong enough to hold his weight were a local livestock scale. This made him one of the heaviest people to ever walk, or not, on the planet, and gave him the nickname of the 5-ton man. Ranked at number 8. Almost every woman, when asked to describe her perfect man, says a variation on the theme: tall, dark, and handsome. Well, handsome is rather a matter of opinion, but Leonid Stadnik certainly fulfills the first two criteria. He has very dark hair, and is 8 foot, 5 inches tall. Born in 1971 in what was part of the USSR but is now Ukraine, Leonid was a perfectly normal child for many years. However, when he started entering his teens, Leonid started growing, and not in the typical, gangly, teenage boy way that we see all the time. Nope, Leonid was tall. He was very tall. A brain operation when he was 14 years old revealed that he had a tumor in his pituitary gland, completely beyond the reach of any doctor. It could not be removed, and while it remained in Leonid's body, it was encouraging the gland to produce a huge amount of the growth hormone that was the source of his incredible increase in size. Ranked at number 7. Chandra Bahadur Dangi is currently the smallest person alive. He is only 1 foot, 9 inches. Chandra is from the country of Nepal, and is the 7th child of a family of 8. Although 2 of his brothers and 2 of his sisters are normal heights, his other 3 brothers were less than 4 feet tall, suggesting that very strong genetics were playing their part. Chandra is completely accepted in his village. He makes placements and head straps so that fellow villagers can carry heavy loads, and cares for the village's livestock. Unlike many other societies that may have feared Chandra for being different from them, there is a greater understanding within his home village that although Chandra may be different, he is also the same as everyone else in the things that matter. Never ostracized, never beaten, Chandra has created his own little niche in his community. Ranked at number 6. Many of the men in this article were born different. They had absolutely no choice in the matter. Some men have strived to become stronger, others lost the will to keep smiling. Paul Carson is the kind of guy who brought things on himself, and his condition is certainly not connected in any way to his birth. He admitted that his skin turned blue as a side effect of consuming a silver compound that he created himself 10 years ago. He needed the silver compound to treat a very bad case of dermatitis on his face. His condition is called argyria. It is generally believed to be permanent. Avoiding the sun is the only practical method of minimizing the cosmetic deformity that comes with argyria. Even since Paul has been discovered, he has become a famous internet figure. There are many more cases such as Paul's, but no story or picture has been ever as popular as his. He is genuinely the one and only real-life Papa Smurf. Ranked at number 5. Some women must truly like their boys bad. That could clarify why a mugshot of Jeremy Meeks has fascinated more than 23,000 likes and 5,000 comments on the Stockton Police Department's Facebook page. Meeks, who is 30 years old, was detained due to weapon charges in Stockton, California. The arrest was a part of the police department's ceasefire sweep operation, which was conducted due to a recent increase in gunfire shootings and armed robberies in the Weston Ranch area. While the charges against Meeks are no joke, the people who posted comments on the police department's Facebook page are all but serious. Pointing out his beautiful eyes, one woman desired to be locked up with him. Another woman hashtagged his picture #HottyThud. Ranked at number 4. One man's obsessions with the needle has taken him very far from the way that he originally looked, and has now made him the most pierced man in the world. Ralph Buchholz absolutely loves the feeling of getting a new piercing, and that buzz has led him from 1 to 5 to 453 piercings. Yes, you heard that correctly, 453 piercings. When you look at a photograph of Ralph, it is all too easy to become transfixed with the sheer number of piercings around his mouth, nose and eyes. They look almost too many to count. But of course, Ralph has kept a record. Ranked at number 3. Anabolic steroids are technically known as anabolic androgenic steroids, also known as AAS, are enhancement drugs that are structurally related to the cyclic steroid ring system, and they have similar effects to testosterone in the body. They also increase protein within cells, especially in the skeletal muscles. This drug is particularly common around professional men athletes who want to improve their performance. Many steroid stories from the NFL, MLB and NBA ended up with the suspension of the players using AS. Another group who's sort of in love with steroids are men bodybuilders. They can't resist the thought of building their body into new sizes and shapes. Ranked at number 2. Remember that day when you were 8 years old and all you wanted is to be bigger? Well, this kid wants to be anything but bigger. An 8-year-old Indian boy has left doctors puzzled. Apparently his hands swelled to super freaky proportions and now weigh more than his head. The young boy named Kaleem lives in India, and sadly he is unable to carry out simple tasks, including tying his own shoelaces. When he was born, he already then and there had hands twice the size of an average baby. His mother Halima, 27, said she knew her son was different from the day he was born, but she was powerless, and her son's hands have now grown so big they measure more than 12 inches, from the base of his palm to the end of his index finger. Ranked at number 1. Yu Zhenwan is a Chinese man with a lot of body hair. In fact, it covers around 96% of his body, which means that he looks a little bit like a bear. But when Yu was first born, no one could ever have known that he would eventually grow up like this. Yu had hypertrichosis, which causes the hair growth to work double time. The condition is also called the werewolf disease. Thank you guys for watching. We love you. Subscribe to us if you want.